Representing the nations of the Caribbean, the saxophonist Yolanda Brown, whom we heard earlier with Bob Marley's Is This Love?
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So basically, that was the new Kent Uni. Hold up. Kent Uni Chancellor, right? Yolanda Brown, OBE.
Big up Yolanda Brown, man.
She was appointed Kent Uni Chancellor, and she is an amazing saxophonist, as you
100%.
can just tell.
I was Chancellor when I went there.
You were Chancellor?
No, Brent, I went to Kent.
Oh.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
Ben, put,
Hold up.
man.
Turn me up. You know when the rappers and the beef? Like, turn me up real
Turn me
quick.
up in the mic.
Yeah, that's
I got something to say. I ain't got nothing to say today. But that's lit, man.
Yeah, man.
Pick up diversity. She's gorgeous as well.
Yeah, she
Do you know,
is.
I think people that play saxophones are God's favourite.
I think so too.
Like, do you know what it is to play saxophone?
crazy.
The breath work,
Yeah.
the talent. I think saxophones are just the best thing. I want to walk down the aisle to a saxophone. I just think it's the best thing. When I get to heaven, I want them. That's how I want them to welcome me. I want the angels. I don't want them on harp. Harp is ding. No, get the saxophones out.
I think it's the closest instrument to God's spirit.
You just think too far.
No,
I don't know.
I've always thought this. Like the piano is 100%
Wonderful.
fire gifted. When strings are played well, they're my
wonderful.
favorite, 100%. But the
Saxophone?
it's breath work, you know.
It's funny you say
Brent.
that, yeah. It's funny you say it's the closest to God's spirit, and you say breathwork. You know the great John Coltrane, yeah?
Yes.
Arguably the best, yeah? Saxophonist ever, yeah?
You don't know Johnny? You don't know Johnny?
Johnny.
I don't have the lung
I
capacity.
don't know what to
to
call
la-
Johnny.
Johnny Coltrane.
I don't have the lung capacity to laugh today, guys. So, please. But it's funny you say that because him, yeah, he's got an album called, doesn't matter what the album's called, sick, anyway. But yeah, there's a church dedicated to John Coltrane.
Really?
They believe that he's the Holy Spirit. Well, he was the Holy Spirit.
Cult.
Reincarnated.
It's a cult.
Because of how incredible he was with the saxophone.
Yeah, see, that's the problem with human beings. The part of man is desperately wicked. Because that's the thing, people take things too far. God gave somebody talent now. Rather than worship the person who gave them the talent, you're worshiping the recipient of the talent. Just take things too far. But saxophones, though, are just amazing. Like, my cousin can play saxophone, plays the saxophone. And whenever I'd watch her, I'm just like, I think she taught herself. Like, their family, they're proper talented. One of them is an Afro, he's an artist, and he's absolutely talented. My cousin, it's called Jimmy Abdul. Check out his music, amazing. He's so sick. But their family, they're just so talented. They can sing. They teach themselves how to play instruments. Like, so lit. I just bring jokes to the table.
Oh, I just remember that album, Love Supreme.
Love Supreme. Oh, that's nice. That's
Yeah,
nice. Right, good morning, guys. Good morning. I hope you guys are doing well. Today is Wednesday, the 24th of July. Welcome to TDA, the day after, your favourite news platform and the home of popular culture as defined by the culture. And as always, I am my own royalty.
And they call me E-Man, the pro-black activist, TDA producer, and news analyst. Melanin jam-packed.
Amen. I think I might drop the shade in my name. Yeah, because I think that is going to align with other brands out there or other platforms and such that have shade in their name. You know what I mean? I just think, oh, you know, I existed before all of this, by the way.
For sure.
Just, but I just think that, I don't know if I want to be aligned with that anymore. So I'm doing some work on that. Actually, I'm not doing any work. I will just come here and tell you I'm flipping that start. That's really what I would do. Anyways, how are you guys though? How are you and your lungs? I hope your child was not sick like you were.
No. Remember, this was a personal attack on me. So,
as always.
You know what I'm saying?
They never not personally attacked you?
That's what I'm saying. But they picked the wrong time, man. Because, you know what I'm saying?
They didn't pick the wrong one, they picked the wrong time. Yeah, take it easy.
I'm still recovering, you know what I mean? But they can't keep me down.
They can't,
man.
man.
Telling you.
God forbid.
The show must go
I mean,
on.
as soon as you have some suya, beef suya, I think all will be restored. I honestly think you'll be healed quicker than the woman with the issue of the blood. But, you know, it's just, we'll just see. We'll keep hanging on to your tofu and that. But it's nice to have you back there. We have missed you.
Thank you.
Nice to be back. Brent, how are you doing, sir?
I'm good, thank you very much. Whilst you were gone, someone called you an asshole, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Is this a man or woman?
You really get to people.
So I'm just saying, can you imagine? While I'm there suffering.
Can you imagine?
Good morning to everybody in the chat, especially Antonia Hansen.
Is it Anthony's birthday?
No, yesterday I viewed one of the streams from 90s Babies.
Big up 90s baby every time.
Yeah, every single time. So, they had a doctor on
nice.
yesterday. I think maybe she's a sex doctor. I don't know.
Okay.
But they were talking about all things sex and stuff in it.
Okay.
And Antonio was in there, and Ed was in there, and Star
Wonderful.
Crew was in there.
Oh, big up, yo.
Yeah, Antonio was we were bonding. That's all
in
I'll
the
say.
live stream chat.
That's all I'll say.
That's what I want to hear.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I want to hear.
But I
I'm
love
not
to
gonna
see.
fight you.
I love to see how some of our morning audience are also over there.
Act elsewhere. How did they act elsewhere? Do they act like they got manners elsewhere? Or I suppose they're not the deviant ones.
But
you need to see how the deviant ones act outside.
They definitely were acting like it was morning time.
Well, fair. I suppose if you're up at, to be fair, I say if you're up early enough to listen to CDA, really and truly, you should be up doing things.
100%.
Really, do you get me? Really and truly. But I guess if your energy is already going in the morning, fair, just keep it to the evening. Might as well. So big up the teachers. We're gonna get our teacher audience back.
Yes.
The kiddie bops are off school.
Already?
Yeah, man.
12th of June. Oh, of course they are.
Yeah. I think some of them actually going to today, actually.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
There's always that one school that wants to just get that extra funding in on the last day.
Don't mind them.
And then they finish at like 10:30, something silly like that. Well, wasting my time. But
So I'm definitely going to be seeing them in Central often with the little excursions and
you're
stuff.
definitely seeing them today.
Okay.
Yeah, it's long, man. It's long. When the kids are off, can't lie, it's a long summer. Big up the teachers and that, but gosh. Anyways, all right, we've got quite a lot to get through today. Quite some heavy stuff actually, and sadly. So let's get into our headlines.
All right, people. So our first headline, Labour has suspended 7 MPs who defy the party's stance by voting to abolish the 2-child benefit cap. So Richard Bergen, John McDonnell, Imran Hussain, Afsana Begum, Zara Sultana, and Rebecca Long Bailey, and Ian Byrne have all had the whip suspended for 6 months, at which that point there'll be a decision to review their case. The MPs, part of the Socialist Campaign Group, went against the Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer's decision to maintain the cap due to the budget constraints. This policy, introduced by the Conservative government in 2017, restricts child benefits to the first 2 children in the family, and critics argue that it exacerbates child poverty. This suspension reflects internal party tensions over balancing fiscal responsibility with social welfare commitments. And our next headline, James Cleverly has announced his candidacy for the Conservative Party leadership, urging the party to abandon internal conflicts and focus on governing effectively. He emphasised that the Tories must prioritise unity and discipline to address the nation's challenges. Cleverly's bid is part of a broader effort to restore stability and confidence within the party amid ongoing political issues. He highlighted the importance of clear and decisive leadership to move the party and the country forward. And our last headline takes us to America, where Kamala Harris held her first campaign rally in Wisconsin on Tuesday as she started her bid for the Democratic presidential nomination. During her speech, Harris emphasized the critical issues at stake, including the economy, healthcare, and the well-being of children, asserting that President Trump prioritizes himself over the American people. She praised Joe Biden, highlighting his historical role alongside the first black president and his selection of her, the first black woman, as the vice presidential candidate, as part of America's ongoing journey towards equality and justice. Harris's entry into the race has energized the Democratic campaign, with nearly 90% of Democrats approving Biden's decision to choose her as his running mate. Biden remarked that Harris's selection sends a powerful message to young girls, especially those of color, that they too can aspire to the highest offices in the country. And that's it for our headlines.
Did you manage to catch her speech?
No, I didn't,
I think it's worth watching it.
I will definitely do so. Brent just said it's worth watching, guys.
It's 11 minutes. And, hey, it was impassioned. It was lively.
Wonderful.
It was on point. She was hitting them blows, man. It was a very, very, very good speech.
I expect nothing less.
Is it the same speech where Joe Biden called up?
I didn't get to that part.
Okay, cool.
Even on your 11 minutes.
Yeah.
Fast forward.
The clip I saw was 11 minutes, but I didn't. That part didn't have Joe Biden talking in it. But I
Okay,
did see references that Joe Biden called up.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because I did want to ask you guys, I wanted to kind of mix in the topic of the day, but topic of the day deserves to have its own section. But do you guys feel like it's a bit extreme to say this? Yeah, I'll go on to say it in a minute. Or do you feel like
You're so silly.
Probably. I have given up.
Oh, gosh.
but like do you feel like we've kind of seen a modern day coup in America?
Already?
Against who?
Yeah, against Biden. Because he's the president, yeah.
Yeah.
And the man made it very clear, abundantly clear to all of us for the past how many weeks now, yeah, that he's not going nowhere at all. And then all of a sudden,
He's gone.
he's gone. Not only that, we ain't seen him.
No, they saw him yesterday.
yeah,
It was
that's
cited
right.
yesterday, yeah. He was going somewhere.
Okay.
COVID-free. But you know what it is? I don't think it's a coup. I think what it shows, which I've always believed anyway, is that the American president is just the face of the government. It's not really the person that's in charge. Because he was out here talking about, I ain't going nowhere. You can't get rid of me. Can't get rid of me. Next thing you know, he's got rid of. So because he's not the one in charge. You're just the face of the government. You're not the one that calls the shots. So, if anything, that's what it shows me. But I don't think it's a coup. I think a coup is when Kamala wins and Trump doesn't. That's going to be... Oof.
Boy.
So I saw on the interwebs a few people showcasing or highlighting the fact that the letter didn't have a signature on it.
Yeah, that's another
Did
thing.
I have Biden's signature?
No,
Yeah.
it wasn't how he normally writes a signature.
Yeah, maybe he forgot. I feel like he woke up the next day and was like, I did what? And I endorsed who? I think that man signed that shit. He just forgot. I don't think people understand the seriousness of that man's health. It's done out. Like, done out.
It's not his fault.
Whose fault is it?
The people that put him in power, innit? Yeah, it's not his fault.
Because I feel like he aged, like, he didn't look like that when he was next to Obama. But he's moving like Obama was like 20 years ago. It wasn't. Was it?
It's 4 years though.
What was?
4 hard years.
Of what?
When he went in looking like that. He went in looking like how he looks.
No, he wasn't talking like this.
Not as bad as this.
Not
but
as bad as this, but he
everyone
was
talking about
hanging
his
on
age,
balance.
though.
Yeah,
His
but
age was a thing.
He was more like mentally tactile, like right at the beginning,
Yeah.
because he had to oust Trump in the first place.
True.
That's about.
But But yeah, the even the letterhead,
When you got the White House.
it wasn't as it was supposed to be.
This is so someone did it on a Word document.
So basically, so that's why it's people are there saying that yeah, he didn't.
Do you know, I
stole
can
after the
imagine?
fact.
I can imagine. He said, "Listen, Biden, you're done." He said, "No, I'm not." They said, "Biden, you're done. Sign this letter." He's like, "I'm not signing nothing. The people want me." I said, "All right, that's fine." Then he logged into his Twitter and he saw they put the letter out for him. That man ain't in control. I don't even think he controls his household.
I think they just
And
gave him
dumbass.
like a hot cocoa and told him to take a nap. And watch
Yeah, for real.
I think that's what it was. They're like, all right, Biden, you win. You get to keep running. Okay, whatever. You win. Here's some tea. Real tea. You were kicked out.
Oh man.
The mess, man. Joke. All right, let's get into what you're saying. Topic of the day.
All right, people. Today's topic of the day is a serious one. We ain't gonna spend too long on it because I feel like it's the same sort of story that we hear time and time again. But this is about a black woman by the name of Sonya Massey, 36 years old, who was trigger warning. Sorry, guys, big trigger warning, guys. He was killed the other day on the 6th of July. Yeah, such a waste. Such a waste. I'm not too sure, Brent. Should we play the video? Or should we? I'm gonna narrate it to everybody anyway. What happened, but just in case you
All
do
right,
have the
so
video.
we are about to play the video. I'm gonna put up the trigger warning. Pew. Trigger warning.
Yeah, it is disturbing.
Yeah.
Like, you will find it disturbing. So please tune out
It
if you
is.
need to.
How long is the video? Let me see. You got a link? You ain't got a link?
Hold on a sec. Let me put in the BBC one.
Boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
There you go. This one hasn't got all the what do you call it? The graphic stuff, but still.
All right. Hopefully this doesn't get flagged. This is actually from this particular site.
What is that?
Yeah.
You know what?
Maybe
let
don't
me-
then.
let me- yeah,
Just
let me-
narrate it.
Yeah, let me
Just
narrate it.
But still leave the trigger warning now because it's triggering narration.
Yes. So basically, what happened was Sonya Massey, like I said, 36 years old. She called up the police. Right. So she's minding her business. That's the scene right there on the screen. She's minding her business. She's called up the police because she kind of suspects that there may be an intruder outside of her house. Right. So she's calling for her own safety. Now, what happened was she's called, and then when they've come to the house, she said, "Oh, please don't hurt me." So obviously you can already tell, and for good reason. We know what happens, especially in America, right? So she's saying, "Please don't help me." The officer says, "Why would we hurt you? You called us." So you're aware that she called you. Then the officers ask her questions like, "Oh, no, basically they say to her that they've searched around the house and they found nobody. They then ask if the car with the smashed windows in the driveway is hers. She says, "No, it isn't. Somebody else parked it there, etc., etc." She says to them, "Thank you," and she says, "I love you, thank you." Yeah. Well, in American accent,
Like,
I
thank
love
y'all.
y'all, thank
Love
y'all.
y'all, yeah.
Officers enter the house to ask for details and to go to the kitchen. And as they're going in, this is where they can see like a boiling saucepan of water on the hob, yeah? She takes the saucepan off the stove.
No, but before that though, because they said to her to find her ID,
Okay.
and they asked her for another paperwork. So she's a bit confused trying to do both at the same time. They say, okay, then the guy says, "Okay, do you know what? No. Let's get the ID first, then we'll move on to the next thing."
Okay.
He's like, "Okay, cool." Then the guy says, "Actually, we don't want to start a fire. Do you mind turning that off?" So yeah, that's where she's going to turn it off.
Thank you very much.
So he
for that.
asked her to go and turn off the stove, the water that was boiling on the stove.
Yeah. Okay. And then
Do you have an ID? That make things
okay.
you got
yeah,
that
yeah,
one,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, go on.
so much easier. I just need shit.
Just a driver's license will do, and then I'll get out of your hair.
I want to show y'all my paperwork.
I will get your paperwork.
What paperwork?
Okay. I got some paperwork.
Well, just get your ID real quick.
Well, let's
so
get your
I
ID
can test
first, and then...
you. One task at a time here.
Okay. Let me
Here, grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
You stand that stack right there, maybe?
Okay. 1 second.
Check on her.
Let me get this.
No, we don't need a fire while we're here.
Right. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I would rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name of
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot! Drop the fucking pot!
19 shots fired.
Shots fired! Shots fired! Drop the fucking pot! Bring EMS now. We got a headshot wound to the female. Headshot wound to the female. 1078. Fuck.
I was on. I'm gonna go get my kit.
Now your headshot, dude. She's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. God damn it.
I don't even know what to say, to be honest with you.
Do you know what's mad, yeah? There's so many things that first of all, that police officer or whoever he is has been to 6 precincts in 4 years, or 6 sheriff departments, wherever it is, in 4 years. He's got two DUIs. How are you allowed to be a police officer? You know they reported it as a suicide.
Can you imagine?
They reported, so when it comes to even him being in jail, whatever, his what's it called, boss also needs to get the boot. They recorded it and put it down as a suicide. There's a video of when they finally get help. Like his colleague wanted to go and get help. He said, "I shot in the head. She's done. There's no point." That's what he said.
Yeah.
And then when his colleagues come, you know, he called her a crazy bitch.
This is what we're dealing with.
It's just crazy.
I'm not even feeling too well, so I don't have the patience to be.
Let me just show you a couple other things here. This is after the event. Let me see if I can actually make this bigger. He's done what he's done, and he has now walked out. And these are all of his colleagues.
Oh, I didn't know what happened.
And they're all just looking at him. They're not saying anything. They're not saying, "You're right."
Yeah, I'm good. This fucking bitch is crazy.
Because they know he has prior.
Yeah. You know he's an animal.
That poor woman.
He's got tape.
What?
I think I...
Just kill. Do you know what it is to, like, sometimes people talk about killing as though like they can just replace the life. That's a whole life.
This is why I always say to people, yeah. And again, I don't have the patience to be nice and politically correct today, yeah.
Oh.
But we need to remember when people die, and I know it may sound very silly right now or whatever it may be, but her family will never see her again. This is why when it comes to stuff like this, I don't think of things in the religious terms, like, oh, you know, one day in heaven. I don't have no time for that. Because it's what I think, anyway, desensitized us. They've robbed their family of this woman for
Her dad
no
was heartbroken.
reason. For no reason.
She's got 2 young children. They have to grow up without a mother. Because you told her to drop the pot. And all you sickos, all you absolute sickos that are online talking about, oh, she's going to throw the hot boiling water in them.
Imagine.
If you slow down the video, those are the gloves. You see her pick up the gloves to carry the thing. Which is why they made the comment of, oh, it's boiling hot, like it's hot. That's why she's got the gloves. So when she puts down the pot, you see her she puts her gloves up to surrender. People are out here doing stupid videos talking about, well, but even if you think shooting somebody in the head, Are police not even taught to give like to do to like graze people or like shoot them in the leg or do stuff that would disarm them? He shot her in the head. A headshot. She was never surviving that. And you didn't even care to see whether you could try to see if she could survive that. Your colleague wanted to go and get his kit and you're saying, no, let's not open the plasters up. It's already done. A human being. A life. And she called you for help. And do you know what's sad? I think what breaks my heart the most is that they came to her door and she said, don't hurt me.
Can you imagine? The first thing she says. Because
Don't
she knows,
hurt me.
She knows what they're
Because it's a
capable of.
reputation. And this is a good time to say people that want to vote for Trump. Because one of the things he's trying to do is that police officers just get to be police officers. That all this, you take them to court thing, none of that is allowed. But they're out here killing people. They're killing people innocently. How can you need help and you have to think twice about whether you want to call the police or not? Because they might be the ones to harm you even worse than the person that you think is trying to is intruding. She called them for help. And she said, please don't hurt me. And then you even said, why would we do that? He's a sicko. He's bloodthirsty. He's a bloodthirsty sicko. Has the cheek to plead not guilty. And you know what's mad as well? He didn't turn his body cam on until afterwards. That is his colleague's body cam.
Yeah, you see?
And I feel like when that guy said, I've got mine on, he thought shit.
Yeah, well, I'm done.
Because
now.
afterwards you hear him saying, like there's like a few seconds longer video and he's like, oh crap, like shit. He's basically can't believe this is what's happened. But not, I can't believe this is what's happened. More like, crap, I'm probably going to get in trouble for it. Yeah. Because as soon as you get outside, you're saying, oh, it's crazy bitch. Crazy bitch.
So this is to Esther's point. I saw a lot of people doing that whole, she was trying to throw water at his head.
That's ridiculous.
Absolute nonsense, right?
Why would she do that? She called them.
Even if that was the case. Can you imagine shooting somebody in the head because
3
they
times,
were
Brent.
scared and they put their hands up? Look, this is a close-up. So you can see that the pot was still on the... Hold up. All right, so you can see both her hands now.
She's wearing the gloves.
Both her hands up in the air. She now ducks down. The pot is still on the
Still
bloody
there.
hub.
Bro.
Can you imagine?
The pot is still in the hub. So if it is that you saw any steam, it's because when he shot,
Yeah.
That's what happened.
that's what happened.
3, Brent. 3. Not 1. Not a warning shot.
This one-
And how far away were they that frail little woman was going
Exactly
to throw
what I
a
keep thinking.
bottle
Exactly.
of water?
You literally take one step back and they don't touch you.
But they took steps back already. And they
It's a
told
joke.
her why they took steps back.
It's a joke. It's
But
a
you
joke.
asked her to turn it off. Why didn't one of you go and turn it off then? If you felt like that was going to be a threat, why didn't you go and turn it off then? What, like, to just, for human life, he needs to get the chair.
100%. This is where methods...
He needs to get the chair.
What they do back home, I know it may sound some
Jungle
type of way,
justice.
100%. These are people that you need to cut up their body and separate them, just throw it in different places. It's
All right.
ridiculous. He doesn't deserve no sort of nothing.
All right, so you saw the first part where it is that she was ducking, right?
Yeah.
So she's afraid,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
so
of course.
she's jumping up to defend herself by picking up the pot, as you can see here.
Yeah, because she's like, I'm going to block
She
because
is
he's...
absolutely 100%.
Because that's human instinct.
100%. She's trying to defend herself now, right? He's saying he's going to shoot her in the head. So she's like, and he's still pointing. She's like, how do I protect myself? So she picks it up to basically, and bam, 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 in the head. Bam, bam, bam in the head. They all looked at him. All of those officers outside, they were just watching him.
Yeah.
Because they knew that guy who just came, who just transferred
Who's
from
got
such and such,
he's got 2 DUIs.
he's come to do it again.
Who this is his 4th precinct.
He has come
How
to do
on
it
earth did he
again.
even get a job again? How did he get that? How? How are you going to... You're going to be arresting people for the same crime that you committed twice. Americans take DUI seriously. People go to jail for that. You lose your job, you lose your livelihood for that. Yet the police officer is going to be stopping other people and issuing DUIs, has 2 on his record.
It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And he did not turn his body cam on. You're going to a house where they reported an intruder and you don't think you should be recording. Do you know the mad thing as well? They'd gone and checked around the house.
Mm-hmm.
They'd gone and checked around the house. Yeah. Why he needed ID and all that stuff anyway, I don't even know. But they'd gone and checked around the house and said, oh, there's nothing going on, blah, blah, blah. All they actually did was just come in and be like, there's nothing here. If you feel like anything else, call us. We've checked around, and we'll leave. Have a nice evening. And she told you, she thanked you guys for the work that you do. She thanked you for coming to check in on her, not knowing less than 5 minutes later or 2 minutes later you would kill her.
Disgusting, man.
He knew what he was doing. He reported it as suicide. He reported it as that.
All right, I think.
Do you know what it is? Like, how can you kill somebody and report it as, ooh, they did it. I'm going to try and save myself. He deserves, like, I don't even know what the worst there is.
They need to bring hanging back for people like him.
No, but he needs a slow and painful death. Them injections they give them, he needs to be in pain for 24 hours.
100%.
Minimum.
100%.
All right, so I found
this is the record.
Yeah, I found the prior's thingamajiggy. This details all of his past positions and the reason as to why it is that he left the job. And this is from 2020. It starts to 2020.
Brent.
And the most recent was 2023. So it's within 3 years, he's moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times.
6 times, Brent.
He moved six times within 3 years. Other explain, resigned, terminated for cause. Can you imagine?
Terminated. He was actually terminated and he got rehired. He was actually terminated.
Can you imagine?
He's got 2 DUIs and was actually terminated. And they said, oh, it's fine, you can come and have a job here.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I don't even know what to say.
There's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. There's honestly not a damn thing to say.
And
he prevented his colleague from going to help that woman. Not that she might have survived, we don't even know. But it just speaks to the intent. And I think it's like the story gets worse and worse because you guys reported that she committed suicide. If that guy's body cam hadn't been on, it would have just gone as that.
Yep. 100%.
Maggie says, thanks, Esther, for raising the police immunity that Trump is trying to introduce. This needs to be highlighted to all the people that say Trump is harmless and not to be taken seriously. Yeah, man. Black people that vote for Trump, I'm sorry. Based off this alone, how many names are there? How many conversations have we had about these things? How many scenarios have we had about these things? But just based off the value of black life and how they see it, you cannot vote for that man. You just can't. You cannot, because he knows what these things are. He knows that these things are happening. And you don't even see as insensitive to even bring such a thing up. Police immunity, where we're watching them in 4K kill people. In 4K, kill people that are not harm to them. People have no weapons on them, no nothing on them, yet the police feel threatened. But yet the people that you are killing, they hear about how you kill, like they hear about your killings, they hear about your escapades, they care how you don't have value for human life. So how do you think they feel? If as a police officer who's gone through so much training, so much all these things, you can feel threatened by a normal by a layperson, how do you think that layperson feels with you in their face, you and your colleagues with weapons on you? How do you think they feel? You expect people to control themselves, normal human beings who work in post offices, who are just community, who are teachers, who are just normal people. You expect them to be able to control themselves, to have self-control when it comes to defending themselves, but you cannot do the same for yourself. With all the training that you've got, with all the weapons that you've got, with all the security that you've got. Like, how can you have no value for human life? If that guy's camera had not been on, they would have just like, oh yeah, it was suicide. The fact that they even recorded it anyway, that it was down on the record as, yep, she committed suicide, is wild. Look at all those people that we say were all his colleagues that were outside and they all looked disappointed or whatever. All those people knowing damn well what happened. And all those people know that they recorded it down as suicide.
I was just about
It's
to say that.
scary.
I was just about to say it. If there was no body cam, all of them would have supported this guy.
Because that's
And
what
said
they
it was
do. They
suicide.
support each other
That's what they do.
first.
This is why I don't waste anybody's time trying to single out individuals and make them appear different to the rest of them. To me, I see them all as the devils they are. All of us black people, we have a devil detecting device in our DNA. That woman, it activated as soon as she opened that door when she said, "Don't hurt me."
She said, "Don't hurt me."
Immediately, she knew. So she's pleading from the door. And at the end of it, 5 minutes later, like you said, she's gone. For nothing. Her children will never see their mum again. Her parents will never see their child for nothing. Because she was scared in a country where she pays taxes, you know. And she's asking. And I don't want to make this political and say Trump this, because you're 100% right. But this happened under Biden. So this is an America problem. This is a systematic
America
issue
problem.
against black people. This is just how it is in the West.
Wasn't Trump the one that was there when George Floyd died?
Yeah,
So
it's
an
both.
American problem.
It's both, 100%.
And it's just what George Floyd was not the first person.
Oh,
It's an American problem.
happened like I can't remember
Then
the
again,
last
it's
time
not,
it
it's not
happened
an
just
American
before.
problem. So it's not an American problem. It's a police problem.
Yeah.
Sarah Everard. It's a police
There you
problem.
go,
It's
there you
not.
go.
It's not an American problem. It's a police problem.
It's a white supremacy problem. That's
It's a
what it
police
is,
problem. No, but we
100%.
say that in SARS. It's a police problem. It's people it's people in places of in positions of authority that have the role of protecting the public. It is the abuse of power. That's actually what it is. It's abuse of power. Because in every country there's police brutality.
That's true.
In every single country around the world, there's some form of protest going on about police abusing the power. So it's a police problem. It's an abuse of power problem.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
It's sad.
So the connection to Trump that I see here, Emmanuel, is, and please correct me if it is that you don't see this connection, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it is that you've checked up on the Project 2025.
Briefly.
All right. So essentially, if he gets into power,
Yeah.
he's not going to have any bureaucracy getting laws passed at all, because it will be already cleared out by the organizations that are part of Project 2025, right? So he's going to have a clear run at putting through whatever laws and policies that he wants, right? Now, in relation to this happening under his governorship, right? I can see him, and I might be stretching it. I can see him pardoning this guy. I can see him getting on the microphone very quickly and saying, nah. She basically put that pan up, and we need to protect the people protecting our people, right? I can see him doing that, and that will easily cause people to start rioting, right? And that's how I connected to Trump, right? This mindset of the police being able to do things and get away with it. It was there before Trump. It'll be there after Trump. But Trump will facilitate them getting away with it on grander levels. Talk to me.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Anything's possible in that country, man. And I don't necessarily, and I hope it don't come across like I'm trying to defend Trump, but I don't think Trump is the boogeyman that I think a lot of us think he is. I think it's just white supremacy. Whoever is in that seat, in some ways, gives us the same sort of treatment. You may get bent over the table, but have a meal before it, or sometimes you might get the dessert after the situation. It depends who you're dealing with, but you're still going to get the same treatment. This is why I mentioned the fact that this happened under Biden, and it will unfortunately happen under Trump too. So all this other stuff about they're going to get immunity, this, that, and the third. Yes, I just don't see anything different. I really don't see anything different.
I feel like what Brent's saying, what I think Brent is saying, is that like Brent said, this has always been a narrative that's been passed for years. Or we've got to protect the people that protect us.
Yeah.
But Trump will be that person to ensure that they are protected. Trump will do that.
I don't think. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do feel like in those situations where, in this situation here, if I had to put money on it, I don't think Trump, if he was the president, would defend him, because I feel like this is ridiculous. In them situations
Because
where
you have sense.
but in
Trump
those
is a
situations,
Trump, for all that Trump is, at Trump's heart, when it comes to it, Trump is a troll. Trump is the troll that you see on Twitter. He's a troll that you see on football Twitter. He's a troll that you see in YouTube comments. He's just a rich guy who is in the position that he's in. At the heart of it, he's a troll. Who was the guy we were talking about the other day that what was it, the invasion thing?
Sure.
We were talking about it last week, that Trump was when we talked about Trump being assassinated and people showing him grace and whatnot. But we're talking about when other people went in positions, he didn't show them that same grace. So absolutely, it's not far-fetched for me to think that Trump will get on the news and watch one of those stupid videos and say, well, actually, yeah, because Trump gets his news from his platform. Who the people on his platform are trumpets. I don't know what he calls his hive. It's fellow Trumpers.
Yeah.
So the content he's
100%.
seeing is all those
They're
stupid
channeling
TikToks.
him.
Exactly. It's all those TikToks that
They're
are saying,
definitely
oh,
channeling
she put the part out, Trump absolutely will say it. The thing that Trump has come out and said, Trump that said, drink, what was it, bleach, or kill coronavirus. Trump that said, well, it was China. Trump.
And that whole, there were good people on both sides after the aftermath in Charlottesville.
that nonsense.
So it's not far-fetched to believe that Trump will come in the news and actually use this to further his agenda for why the police need to be protected. It's not far-fetched to believe that.
But this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't put anything past anybody in America. Like, I always say this all the time to people. When these sort of things happen, it doesn't surprise me, Like, all it takes is us to remember things from the past. Like, before our generation, our parents' generation, civil rights, Jim Crow, slavery, colonization. Just remember those things and know a little bit about it in detail. And none of these things will surprise you. All you recognize is it's the same thing. That's the only conclusion you'll come to. That's it. So when I see this sort of thing, it's like, oh yeah, well, it's just them being themselves again. This is it. And unfortunately, we're gonna again, I don't want to make this about politics, innit? But it's just a joke that black people are just living their lives. Imagine you calling the people that's meant to protect you. You pay their wages, and they come to your house and they kill you. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I wonder if he's going to bite.
Trump?
Yeah, because everybody's talking about this right now, right?
Yeah.
It's a big, big thing. And I wonder if they're going to corner him and ask him what he thinks about this.
Well, that's the problem, though, because I feel like if he was going to do that debate with Kamala, I feel like it would have come up. Because I feel like she would have come up. But he's avoiding, at this point, public speakings. So we'll never know.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah. It's a joke, man.
I think it's horrible, man. I just feel, yeah, man.
Within seconds, you've removed an
entire life, like people's
Imagine.
world. Like her dad was on the news here, and he was just, like, when you're just numb, and he literally just looked, like just like his eyes just hurt. That's the entire world. And that's what scares me, like when people kill like that, like senseless killings, because you've done that without giving it a thought, but that's, like, you've changed and ruined people's lives. Their lives are different now. Because when it came to her jaw as well, they asked her, like, if she was okay mentally. And she's like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I've taken, like, I'm taking my medicines and stuff like that. There's also that. That's why he went ahead and called her a crazy bitch. There's also that stigma of, you think that because someone has some kind of mental illness, or they might be differently able to you, means that they're not as important, their life is not as valued. Broke my heart, man. Like, it's just so sad, because, like, how many times are we gonna have these conversations, and to what end? And these people that we see, the ones that go viral, are not the only ones. They're not the only ones. There's people who their cases and their names don't go viral and they don't become a hashtag, but they still exist. There's other situations where this happens and they're actually able to get away with it. they're actually able to cover it up.
100%.
Question, Emmanuel. I'm
Yeah.
looking at like, good morning, black lad. Travel.
Our traveller.
I hope you're well. Yeah. He typed something, and I want you to speak on that.
What was it?
Sometimes I find it interesting reading certain comments. Right, put it up on the screen. Talking about who people should vote for is mental, especially not living in the country. What's your response to that?
Yeah, that don't make
Because
no
it
sense.
could be in two parts, right? You can take that. So why doesn't it make sense to you?
Because we're in bed with the people over there.
So
in America,
it's connected, right?
fully connected.
How is it connected?
Like every decision we make, like we went to war in bloody Iraq because of what happened in America. So British people died. Policies changed in this country because of what happened in America and how America chose to respond to it. Prior to, I believe, even Labour going into power, David Lammy was making trips to America to secure the relationship since he's going to be the foreign secretary. Like it's fully connected, fully, it's, especially in America. If you said this about, I don't know, a country in like the Philippines or something, I'll be like, okay, maybe. But America, everything American does, we do. So yeah, man.
Fair.
It's a joke, man. This is, this
And
country.
I'm not sure Florida native will ever call up. I'm
don't-
not sure Florida native is who they are pretending to be.
And I don't think Florida native needs to even call up. I think that we need to, on this platform, stop enabling foolishness. I get the whole thing about wanting to listen to different parts and different sides of arguments and stuff like that. And for the most part, that's fine, that's cool. But there are just certain things that I think is absolute foolishness. Like we're talking about a black woman that just got killed senselessly. Her entire family's like, it's all changed. What we've linked it to in relation to Trump is something that we've heard Trump say, everyone knows is one of Trump's policies. So how you can be on the other side of him talking about, oh, love Trump, that's great for you and your household. But you and your foolish mindsets, you need to go and park that elsewhere. And yes, actually, I know there's going to be one nerd who's going to say that, oh, I have a problem with people expressing different opinions to me. Yes, on this matter I do. When somebody's innocently been killed, yes, I absolutely do. And if you don't, you also rebuke you in the name of Jesus, child. So there's that.
I mean,
I don't believe this person is who they are pretending to be.
Definitely not. Definitely not. You're not bad enough. You haven't got shoulders that you're not bad enough to call up.
Yeah, I don't believe this person is even in Florida.
I don't believe so.
everyone can have obviously different opinions, but surely when you look at that video, everyone should be on the same side.
You would think that.
Everyone should.
You would think that.
It's crazy.
That's you assuming people have brain cells.
I'm telling you.
That actually
Or
are
have
activated.
eyes.
Some of them are dead. Some of the brain cells in there
Yeah, facts.
hasn't been activated in years.
Facts. It's a damn
R.I.P.
shame,
to the
man.
woman, man.
Yeah, man. Just pray for comfort for the family, and I just pray, man, that black people we just observe this and move accordingly, man, because there's no salvation in no white president that's going to come for us, black president or any other type of president. This is just, unfortunately, America, the police system, white supremacy. It's a damn shame, man. It's a damn shame. But yeah, I guess we can wrap up the topic of the day there.
All right, let's get into our next headlines.
All right, guys. So our next headline, the U.S. Secret Service Director, Kimberly Cheeto, has resigned following the assassination attempt on Donald Trump at a Pennsylvania rally on the 13th of July. The agency faced severe criticism for failing to prevent the incident where Trump was grazed by a bullet and a rally-goer was killed. The gunman, Thomas Crooks, was killed by a Secret Service sniper. Cheeto was condemned by lawmakers during a House Oversight Committee hearing, and investigations are underway regarding the agency's performance. She's been the director since 2022, previously holding the top security role at PepsiCo and serving 27 years in the Secret Service. Next headline, trigger warning on this one. More sad news. Huh?
What's PepsiCo?
I'm not too sure, you know.
That sounds like it has nothing to do with Pepsi, right?
Oh, no.
It should be.
It should.
It should not be. Let me find out what PepsiCo
Yes,
is.
Yeah, part of me was thinking it is like a conglomerate, with Pepsi.
So done.
But yeah, we'll see. like I said, guys, trigger one on this one. And black mothers in England are nearly twice as likely to have their NHS births investigated for safety failings compared to white mothers.
That's surprising.
So over was it Brent?
It's an American multinational food, snack, and beverage corporation headquartered in Harrison, New. Why is
Just Pepsi.
How come? How come she went to the Secret Service?
They need security too, innit?
All right.
Yeah, man. So over 2,300 investigations were conducted by England's maternity safety watchdog between 2020 and 2023. For every 1,000 deliveries by black women, there were 2.3 investigations compared to 1.3 for white women. The head of the Royal College of Midwives attributes this disparity to institutional racism. Black mothers face higher risks of maternal death, stillbirth, and severe brain injuries in newborns. Black women in the UK are also 4 times more likely to die in pregnancy and childbirth than white women. The Labour government pledges to address these disparities, calling it a national disgrace. And our last headline takes us to Ethiopia, where rescue teams in southern Ethiopia have retrieved 229 bodies from 2 landslides that occurred after heavy rains in the Gofa zone. The landslides happened on Sunday evening and Monday morning in a remote mountainous area, and the search for survivors is ongoing, and the death toll may increase. Footage shows hundreds of people at the scene digging into the dirt to find those who were trapped with a partially collapsed hillside visible in the background. The dead include both adults and children, and 10 survivors are being treated in hospital. A second landslide buried police officers, teachers, and residents involved in the search and rescue efforts. Sad news, man. But yes, that's it for the headlines. Time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get to some word on road. All right, so very quickly for me today, what's it called? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. That's one of the best Real Housewives shows, actually. Nothing Wednesday and watching white women fight. It's rich white women fighting. Jokes. No, because they try to act like, they try to act like it's just the black franchises.
Yeah.
No. Them white women are low down, dirty, and petty. It's ridiculous. But anyways, so one of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, her name is Kyle Richards. So she was married to a guy called Mauricio Umansky. And they're married for like years. Like, they've definitely been together at least 20 years. Something crazy like that. But anyways, they're not together anymore. And so Kyle Richards is Paris Hilton's auntie. So Kathy Hilton is her sister. And they've also got another sister called Kim Richards. So Kyle Richards she's a child actress, same with Kim. And then obviously Kathy does what Kathy does. But anyways, basically, they've had that separation. I haven't watched the show in years now, but when I found out they were again divorced, I did think it was sad. Because they were a very lovely couple and very wholesome couple and da-da-da-da. But anyways, over the weekend, there was a picture where he's kissing another woman, which obviously they're single, they're separated, so there's that. But Kathy was saying how that Kyle was very sad about it, I guess, and it would be. And she said basically she thinks it was a hard pill for her to swallow seeing it, and she had to basically calm her down and basically just let her know that, you guys have been separated and you knew at some point this will happen. And I guess sometimes when you're not with somebody and you guys broken up, when the person that moves on first is always like a bit of a hard hitter for the next person. But there was that. And in her bio, she did have like mum in there, but she's taking it off now. Not mum, sorry, wife in there. She's taking that off now. But love and light to Kyle. I like Kyle, man. I like Kyle. She's an interesting, very interesting character on the show. I believe she's one of the longest running housewives on there as well, actually. But yeah, so her sister had to, be there for her and whatnot. So that's the news I've got for you guys. More importantly, though, I would say the lady from Bridgerton, if anyone watches Bridgerton, Lady Danbury, who is played by Ajoa Ando, she was on a podcast called Stirring Something. Wait a minute. No, it's not Stirring. It's Stirring It Up. That's it. Stirring It Up. And she was basically talking about how Bridgerton, she's been on Bridgerton since 2020. She's got very good, she's got big roles there. You see her every episode, basically. And she basically said that despite Bridgerton being praised for its diverse casting, which it does, has black actors, whatever, she says that it hasn't done anything to help the way black actors are treated. She says she's had to have several conversations basically about the lighting. And we always know in Hollywood, that's always TV and film and stuff, that's always a thing that black actors complain about, not being lit properly. And then now you got them looking, can we see them? Can we see their features? We don't really know because you don't really think about these things. So she talks about, that's one of the things that she's had to tackle. She talks about, it's a problem across different sets. And we know that in Hollywood, but she says she finds it very exhausting having to always deal with that. She said that she just wishes she could just come and do her work. And I think that's the reality of black people in a lot of spaces. We don't get to just show up and just do what it is that we're meant to come here and do. There's always extra bits that we have to sort out. Do you know what I mean? If you're black in general, yes. If you're a black woman, there's that too. So yeah, she talked about that. And she also said that continuing conversation about lighting black skin on every show, nothing's changed. They're getting better, so I suppose I feel powerful in that. I will, she says, anyway. So when you read something when she's talking and then when you're relaying it back, it's lost. But anyway, she says she doesn't want to do all that having to make a fuss about stuff and blah 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 blah. Because that's the kind of thing as well that gets you labelled as a young black woman. You can't bloody win. Even though they can't see you on the set, but you can't win. So anyway, she talked about that. Basically, she talked about a lot of stuff actually. So it's worth checking it out. It's a very good episode. She talks about, also having to deal with racism that kind of caused her, that made her suffer, having to endure racism at school that caused nervous breakdowns, especially if her parents broke up and this and that. It's a very interesting episode, so definitely check it out if you want to. And Lee Daniels, so we've all known about Lee Daniels and Monique's rocky relationship, or friendship, I would say. And because that was the whole Tyler Perry thing and the Oprah thing with the whole Precious thing and da-da-da-da. But they made up a while ago. I'm sure I reported on that. But I thought it was really, really sweet, actually. He posted on Instagram a picture of him and Monique holding hands. And the caption says, "At dinner here on our first press day for The Deliverance, it got me reflecting on the 25-year friendship I've had with the actor Monique. Like any real friendship, it's one that stood the test of times, and boy, have our times been tested," in caps. He says, "From our first film, Shadow Boxer, to our second film, Precious, into The Deliverance." So she's going to be in The Deliverance. "She continues to amaze me at the depths of where she goes. It's like she has a bottomless pit of emotions to play with. I can't wait for you to see her as you've never seen her before. She's Cynthia, the concerned kick-ass social worker." And that will be, Deliverance will be on Netflix on the 30th of August. It's in theatres on the 16th of August and it's on Netflix on the 30th. And I'll be watching that and letting you guys know what I think about that. I love Monique, man. I've got all the time for Monique. I've got all the time for Monique, for a black woman that speaks up about things, injustices and whatnot. But it's so funny, people in the caption are so rude. Because that Monique calls her husband daddy, right? It's a thing they do. So in the picture, it's just her and Lee Daniels. And someone was like, daddy was on the table. What a mess, man. But anyways, that's what's happening on the Worden Road side of town. There's other stuff I've missed, but if I'm being honest with you, though, that whole situation with that woman getting killed has really put a poor bad taste in my mouth this morning. Like, her video was the last thing I watched before I went to bed, and it's just, ugh. But yeah, that's it for me. Let's get into People's Journal.
Thank you.
All right, people, welcome to People's Journal, where I give you the news from an economics point of view. There isn't much to talk about today. The main thing I would say is that Nationwide is offering a mortgage with an interest rate below 4%. Now, obviously, on the surface, it sounds amazing, considering the day and time that we're in. But this is really for new customers who have a 40% deposit. And also, it's for 5-year fixed mortgage. It's a 5-year fix, basically, yeah. Obviously, this is part of the whole rate war amongst, the biggest lenders in the country, as they're pretty much anticipating the Bank of England's decision on whether they're going to cut the base rate in August. The average 5-year fixed rate has decreased, but the 2-year has also decreased as well, but only slightly as well. So the mortgage rates are quite high still. Next thing I wanted to mention is about carpet right. So I'm reading a few things about carpet right and how a lot of people are kind of complaining about the fact that they've lost a lot of money because carpet right has collapsed. If you guys remember, last time I was here, I believe, or at least that week, we spoke about how carpet right is closing down. 200 stores of theirs is basically closing down. It's going to affect the employees and the customers as well. And I mentioned to you guys that how people will not be able to get refunds. They may exchange your goods, but they're not refunding it. So yeah, so long story short, all those people who paid for their orders in full, especially if you use a debit card as well, yeah, are pretty much struggling at the moment to get refunds. Yeah, there isn't much else to really speak about, unfortunately. But this might be a reminder to people, man. Try and use credit cards if you can. Obviously, I'm not saying just go on a spending spree, but use credit cards, especially if it's something that you know you're going to buy anyway, and it's set up a standing order to basically clear the balance at the end of the month. Because a lot of the time we get a lot of protections on credit cards that we don't get with debit cards. The last thing I wanted to mention is about Bella Hadid. Now, Adidas has offered her an apology, and this is because they removed her for a campaign for a shoe that they and the whole basically the idea behind it was commemorating the 1972 Munich Olympics, where, trigger warning, Israeli athletes were killed by these pro-Palestinian terrorists. So obviously they've removed her from that, only her, right? And obviously she criticised the whole thing, and pro-Israel groups obviously criticised the campaign as well that featured her. And obviously because she's outspoken about what's been going on, the genocide that's been happening in Palestine. So yeah, long story short, Adidas say that they've acknowledged the unintentional connections to the tragic event and apologised for any distress that's caused, that they caused. And yeah, man, they're revising the campaign and they've apologised to Bella Hadid and a few other people that were initially involved as well. But besides that, guys, there is not much to talk about. So yeah, that's it for the People's Journal.
All right, let's get into our last headlines.
I think we have a little dilemma.
Oh, do we? Oh, we do. Let's get into it. People love loving it. All right, dilemma. The person is age 30-something. Love that for you. It's given 35, 36. All right, so, hold on. Okay. Speaking from a superficial point of view, is love supposed to be balanced? Just for example, are black people supposed to be with other black people? Are mixed race people supposed to be with other mixed race people? Are people who are 7 out of 10 in looks supposed to be with other people who are deemed 7 out of 10 in looks? Are African people supposed to be with other African people? There's a theme here. Are Jamaicans supposed to be with other Jamaicans? Are people within a certain tax bracket supposed to be with others in the same tax bracket? Is or has there been too much mix and match to the point where choosing someone to love/be with who isn't equally yoked as you based on how they look, where they're from, or what they have, causes more harm than good? I thought about this because Dr. Umar breaks down economically why he isn't a fan of interracial relationships, love and guidance. I can say the name because it's not like Quajo, because it's not a personal dilemma in it. It's just posing the question. You're saying people have to be equally yoked in everything, from looks to tax bracket to ethnicity to vibes. Well, not all at once.
No, I put the camera on Emmanuel because I want him to respond first.
I mean, it doesn't need to be all the way. Otherwise, you just end up with the only person that matches you is someone in your family, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it depends on, I guess, the things that you prioritize. Obviously, you're referencing Dr. Umar. Dr. Umar is a Pan-Africanist. So he makes no distinction between black people from different countries. As long as you're black, you identify as black, then he would see it as, okay, you know what, this is a beautiful person that you guys can make it work. But I do feel like in certain things, there should definitely be certain things that you're equally yoked. Yeah, 100%. Otherwise, you're gonna butt heads and it just won't be productive. You know what I'm saying? 100%. But I think it's down to the things that you prioritize. In terms of looks is always going to be subjective.
I'll be down if I'm a 2 out of 10 and someone tells me I'm not allowed to go for a 7 out of 10. I want a 9 out of 10, as a matter of fact. Bump it up by 2.
Yeah, and if the 9 out of 10 sees you...
And 9 out of 10, so I like a 2 out of 10.
That was the problem.
We go together.
That's it. You know what I mean? So, I don't see no issue there. With regards to finances, though, tax brackets and all that sort of stuff...
I'll be damned. We only have 2 millionaires in a relationship. We only got one. His money is my money. My money can be his sometimes.
Wait a minute.
I'm joking.
You heard right.
Wait a minute.
What's mine is mine, what's his is ours. No, I'm still giving a relationship, man. That ain't it.
Because I know you would open your arms wide if the guy comes true and he's a millionaire and you are a hundredaire, right?
Oh,
but
Brent, I'm off my legs, my hands, my hips. Open it all. I'm coming in here, you over there talk to me nice. I'll sort out the chairs for the live show. Don't you worry about that. Me and my man got it. Dear. But I would also say, when I'm the millionaire, like, I shouldn't be my man is rich, but he would be rich. But if I was, like, it's about the person and being a hard worker. I feel like sometimes with life just doesn't hand people, we all don't have the same opportunities. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's different circumstances that put people in different tax brackets. So the tax bracket thing is not a thing for me it's not the line I'm dying on. It's not the hill I'm dying on, depending on the situation, of course. Do you get what I mean? But
yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But if a woman's a millionaire and the guy is not behaving himself in terms of him not being productive at home, there'll be problems.
That's me though. But I feel like even if I was a hundredaire and you're not being productive at home, there's a problem.
100%, because a man should be doing certain things.
I think everybody should be doing certain things.
Yeah, but if a man is a millionaire and a woman has no job,
yeah, because you did that.
It will still be fine.
That's what you did that. You did that. You don't want a housewife and a stay-at-home woman so bad. I'll stay at home. I mean, I'll be doing today. But other than that, I'll be staying at home. Brunching. You don't want that. You don't normalize that. You should normalize house husbands. That's what needs to happen.
We don't need that.
No, you do. Because in the same way, yeah. Because if I'm a millionaire, say I was to have kids, somebody's got to keep these millions. Like my husband might have to be the one who takes care of the kids and does the school runs and blah, blah, blah. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Yeah. Because it's still productive. Do you get what I mean? Look at you, toxic man. You're trying to say, yeah, the sound is never coming out of his mouth. His head he's nodding his head.
I tried.
But his heart and his mind and his words were not agreeing. But personally, I don't see a problem with that. Like I wouldn't think of my man any other way if I was a millionaire and he isn't. Like, but I'm not wired that way. I think, yeah, man, I'm not wired that way. I wasn't raised up to look down on people for not having stuff. Like I grew up in a country where not everyone has the same opportunity, and you see that. People are so talented and sometimes they just don't have the opportunity to nurture that talent or to make good of it, or people go through stuff, man. So I'm not looking down on a guy on account of that. And I'm not respecting him. Because I've also heard women who, like, if they have money, say like they're the ones that have the money and the guy doesn't really, the guy can't really, like he wouldn't, like he can't really chat for them, basically. And I think that's out of order. Like, what do you mean? Like, because you're the one that's got the more money, he can't have a say about anything. I think that's out of order, man. What we have for dinner? I'll tell you what we're having for dinner. That's out of order, man.
Hey, yeah.
You're ridiculous. I would have thought that illness took this out of you. It's ridiculous.
Stay-at-home dad. In our household, the women are the breadwinners. That's the way we run things here. That's the way we like it to be structured.
Nick is a trophy husband, if you will. We prefer it that way, honestly. Like, I would go crazy if I was at the house all the time. And I pride myself on being a breadwinner, and Jenny's right there with me. I am a manager at an organization company. Jen is management in an IT company. Jen and I make more than enough money by ourselves. We don't need that. We don't want that.
Let me just say this right quick. If you look at a chessboard, the king doesn't really move much, because he just moves a square at a time. Meanwhile, the queen, she's all over the board, okay? The queen's got all the power. The king just kind of holds court. I am a stay-at-home dad. In our household, the women are the breadwinners. That's the way we run things here. That's the way we like it to be structured.
When someone has got.
Nick is a...
When someone's been got, you say, what's it by? Like, you have been got. There's women. So he's got 2 wives.
Yeah.
And no job.
No, he has a very invaluable job. He's a stay-at-home husband.
The
stay-at-home
trophy.
husband.
Don't forget the trophy. He's a trophy.
Yes. That's what I'm saying. Remember, guys.
So does he do but if he does all the housework, all the childcare, blah, blah, then fair enough.
Yeah,
that's a great deal. Oh, then fair enough then.
Yeah.
But he's got 2 wives. He managed to find 2 women that sign up for that. Because he's black and he's good looking. That's why. 2 out of 10 couldn't run that.
No chance.
So shafi.
No chance.
How dare you bring this up? But he gets to speak. See what I'm saying? Like, that's equal opportunities. He gets to speak. Because when he interrupted her, she let him go.
That's it.
She laughed at his foolishness, but she let him go. But then again, she is part of the foolishness. So, joke's on her, really. If they like it, I love it for them.
This is it.
Someone on the phone?
Yes, let me just call him back.
No, Starcroy says, successful women love bums anyway. Word. Not me.
No.
But they do love bums.
Why? Because they know they can say anything they want to them. 100%.
No, it's not. It's because...
Why would you love a bum if you're a successful woman?
It's because they're fornicators. Lazy men, apparently, give the best sex. But of course they would, because they've got nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do.
But to prep for the sessions.
Just hone the craft.
Hi guys.
Good morning, babes.
Good
Who are we
morning.
speaking to, please?
It's Bob from Diaries.
Good morning, girl. How are you?
I'm good.
How was your birthday?
I wanted to chime. Oh, it was good. You know, the Quiet Place was rubbish. I'm just saying, but
damn.
But I wanted to chime in on this subject because I was actually raised by a dad who technically was a stay-at-home dad, but he wasn't a stay-at-home dad because he had a job. But my mom would work like 7 days a week, yeah. But she chose to because she wanted to do that, right? And so my dad was more like part-time. And I was, although that clip that you saw was obviously a bit weird, isn't it? Because I think when you think of like, oh, a stay-at-home guy is like ill, trashy and all that stuff. But from someone who was raised by a dad that was predominantly at home, like he would literally take me to school every morning, do my packed lunches. Sometimes I would like not go work with him, but you know, back in the days where you don't have a babysitter, you go work.
Yeah.
Literally, he would go to my school plays, on school trips. Basically, yeah. So it's so crazy because one of my friends, as I got older, she was like, Keisha, God, my name, but from Diaries. God damn.
She said, but from Diaries, girl.
Like, what would you call it? They grew up thinking I didn't even have a mom, and I was like, oh no, yeah, I do, I genuinely do. But my dad is just naturally. Pardon?
No, I'm saying like your mum was a boss babe. She was working.
Yeah, but she genuinely enjoyed it, and she's naturally not someone who is the maternal type like that. So that's why I have a unique perspective, and I feel like I liked that. I enjoyed that kind of like upbringing. Anyway, I don't think I would necessarily be like that, but it's not as toxic or not as like icky as people think, because you just kind of get on with it. And he obviously loved being like the dad like that. So yeah, so I would say that it's not all bad, guys. It's not all bad. I turned out all right.
So how many siblings have you got? Is it just you?
It's just me. It's just me.
But do you know what?
So that's also a unique perspective as well.
I feel like children need an active parent. And I think that, because you know I'm big on people chasing their dreams. And I think that as parents, sometimes you might have to take turns in chasing your dreams. I might have to be the stay-at-home mum for a while you do what you need to do. You achieve that. I tag you in. Now you have to stay in. Like, I feel like that's how it should be. Like that's how.
Like a balance in it.
Yeah,
Because
like it works.
life is just different.
Why am I giving up my dream because of your
someone
snotty
might be
kids? Hell no. Hell no, child. The streets gonna raise them. Joking. But I think that's really cool, man. Big up your dad.
Yeah, man. Big him up, man.
Thanks, guys. But I just thought, I would just put my little unique perspective because I was like, the comments are going crazy. I'm like, oh no. But yeah.
Because Iman's back. Thank you, babes.
Yes,
Bye, Keisha.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
Okay.
Have a good day, man.
Bye.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
See,
man.
I think it's important, man. Your kids have to grow up knowing that both parents are active and not just one parent. The kids that the parents don't do, the dad don't do nothing in the house. Boy. Anyway, I keep telling y'all, working and being the primary carer and being the household person and being the chef and being the cleaner is a scam. You're not doing boss babe. It's slavery. It's just 2024, 21st century slavery. Because that's very unbalanced. If we're both working and like we're both working full-time jobs, but somehow the childcare and the house care is mainly on me, oh honey, that's a scam. That's a scam and a half. But anyway, this person, I don't think necessarily people need to I don't think it has to be a like for like. Personally, I think it's just about what works. I think in some aspects, like Iman said, I think some aspects that could be important, but it'll always be based on individuals. But I don't think that the mixing and matching, I think you said something about, is the mixing and matching, has that ruined stuff? Yeah, has it like done more harm than good? I don't think so. I don't necessarily think so. But that could be on certain things. But yeah. Brent, do you have anything to add to that?
No. Thank you very much.
That's all right, babes.
And keep on sending them dilemmas in. Love you, people.
Yes, please. Thank you very much. We appreciate you guys.
All right. Last headlines.
Yes, please.
All right, people. So our last set of headlines: Jamaica faces a severe plantain shortage.
I'm serious.
Yeah, man. Following the destruction caused by Hurricane Beryl. So the hurricane devastated many of the island's plantain farms, leading to a significant supply disruption. The shortage has impacted local markets and businesses reliant on plantains, causing price increases and supply chain issues. Farmers and agricultural officials are assessing the damage and exploring ways to recover and rebuild the affected crops. Next headline, this is a big trigger warning on this one, guys. And for the first time, the majority of new HIV infections have occurred outside of sub-Saharan Africa. So sub-Saharan Africa has seen a 56% reduction in HIV infections since 2010, while global infections have fallen by 39%. UNAIDS reports increase in HIV cases in Eastern Europe, Central Asia, Latin America, the Middle East, and North Africa. UNAIDS highlights a critical moment for global HIV efforts, emphasizing the actions taken this year are crucial. New potentially transformative HIV drugs may only be available in wealthier countries, raising concerns about global equity in treatment access. But the 2023 UNAIDS report reveals that 39.9 million people living with HIV worldwide, with 1.3 million new infections and 630,000 AIDS-related deaths in the past year. Young women in sub-Saharan Africa remain highly vulnerable to HIV, with calls for policies to address educational and inequality issues. In Eastern Europe, Central Asia, and the Middle East, North Africa, only 50% of people with HIV are on antiretroviral treatment. Only 50%. Sub-Saharan Africa still has a significant number of untreated HIV cases, particularly amongst children. And our last headline, also a big trigger warning on this one. Sad news, man. And a teenager has been stabbed to death in East London. A murder investigation has been launched after the boy, believed to be 15 years old, was found with fatal stab wounds in Hackney on Tuesday afternoon. Police were called to reports of a stabbing in Stelman Close shortly after 4 p.m. He was treated by emergency services but pronounced dead at the scene. The suspect is believed to have run away from the scene. The Met Police said that officers were in the process of informing the victims next to kin. The fatal stabbing comes just 2 days after 15-year-old Renee Graham was shot dead during a family fun day in the West London Park. And that's it for our headlines, guys. It's time to pay them bills.
All right, let's get into the reaction.
All right, people, welcome to the reaction. There isn't much to talk about, to be fair. I just wanted to mention that the European Leagues and Global Players Union, FIFPro, are taking legal action against FIFA for its abuse of dominance in football. So the complaint to the European Commission aims to protect player welfare amid concerns over the number of games and the impact on players' health. FIFPro argues that the international calendar is unsustainable and harms the interests of national leagues and players. The leagues and unions accuse FIFA of neglecting its responsibilities and prioritising its competitions and commercial interests. And FIFA responded by defending its calendar and accusing some leagues of hypocrisy for sending players on global pre-season tours. Also, PSG are interested in signing Sancho, Jadon Sancho from Man United, but no formal approach has been made. Juventus and Borussia Dortmund remain keen on signing him as well, but they can't meet United's valuation. An unnamed Premier League player as well, club, has also shown tentative interest in the player as well. And yeah, so obviously we'll keep you guys updated on that. And guess who's going to be carrying, well, you could mention anyone to be fair, but I was going to say guess, but no point. Snoop is going to be one of the people, man, carrying the torch at the Olympic Games.
Okay.
Yeah, man, so he's going to be one of the final torch bearers. What happened?
Irony's not lost on him carrying the torch. This big blunt.
For real. So yeah, man, he's going to be one of the final torchbearers of the Olympic flame before the opening ceremony in Paris on Friday. So the torch relay, which began in May, has crossed France, has been carried by various personalities, including the great Arsene Wenger, Charles Leclerc, and also Halle Berry as well. And the last thing I wanted to mention is a woman by the name of Charlotte Dujardin. She's a three-time Olympic champion in dressage, right? She's withdrawn from the Paris Olympics and received a provisional 6-month suspension. Why? Because a video emerged allegedly showing, I don't know why it's allegedly when you see it in the video, but anyway, it shows her hitting a horse's leg several times during a coaching session 4 years ago. Because of that, it's come out, made the woman feel guilty for it, and now she's withdrawn from the competition, man. So yeah, long story short, she's expressed remorse for her actions and acknowledged that her behaviour was out of character. So yeah, she's out of it. Her withdrawal is going to be a significant blow to Team GB's Olympic hopes, as she is the joint most successful British female Olympian in history. And the last thing, to be fair, that I wanted to mention is just that some boxing news. Benavidez, he's going to be staying at 175 pounds. Obviously, people have been talking about him potentially going back down to 168 to fight Canelo. Canelo obviously don't want to fight, so there's no need for him to go down to 168. That's the only person that he should be fighting, to be fair. He's kind of cleared up the division. Although he could be fighting, he could have fought David Morrell. That would have been a sick fight. But still, he went up to 175 a few months ago, won. He's probably going to stay there and campaign, man, and see what he does. And also, just wanted to mention, because I was away, obviously, I feel like people already know about the breakdown in the negotiations between Lomachenko and Tank. Long story short, man, Lomachenko was ducked. Tank, I think there's nothing more else to say, to be fair. Lomachenko doesn't want the smoke, man, with the great Tank Davis. So, yeah, we'll see what happens, and we'll see if this means that Tank will go on to fight Shakur Stevenson. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for the reaction.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right.
Yeah, you can wrap it
up. All right, people. Thanks for coming and listening to the show, tuning in. Obviously, we spoke about Labour suspending 7 MPs who rebelled against their decision to abolish the 2-child benefit cap. James Cleverly, who obviously was the Foreign Secretary of the Tories, he's now announced his candidacy for the Conservative Party leadership. Kamala Harris also sent some shots at Donald Trump at her first campaign rally. So guys, check out her speech, which then led us on to our topic of the day, where we spoke about the sad unnecessary racist killing of a black woman who simply called the police for help. Sonya Massey, remember her name, Sonya Massey, 36-year-old, who's taken from us for no damn reason. Secret Service Director Kemley Cheeto also resigns over the Trump assassination attempt. Also spoke about Labour also wanting to put certain things in place to kind of combat what they call a national disgrace with regards to black mothers in England, twice as likely to have their births investigated. Also sad news in Ethiopia with a landslide, rescuers pulling 229 bodies from the mud. We had a good question, dilemma, from our good brother. Well, he says K, but since we mentioned his name already, in fact, K.
Why did you put his name at the end? In the main dilemma, after you done put his name in the name section. Big up you there. Mm-hmm. Oh, babe.
And big up the other K that called in. Bathroom Diaries. You're going to mention your name.
You so really know how to just expose a person, don't you?
And yeah, man. Obviously, we found out also about the shortage of plantain in Jamaica and the other damage that's been caused by Hurricane Beryl. And also, for the first time, that new HIV infections occurred. Sorry, that the most new HIV infections occurred outside of sub-Saharan Africa for the first time. The good news is that global infections have fallen, both outside and within Africa. And sad to say, but yeah, a teenager was stabbed in East London, Hackney, 15 years old, passed away, man. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the show. Yeah.
Don't forget to follow us on social media, The Day After TNB, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Discord. We are dropping videos of the coalition founders and what it is that they've got to say about TNB. So please check those out, leave a comment, repost them, share them, all that great stuff. And like the video, subscribe to the channel, that usual stuff. And have some sense. So we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
And drink some water.
Drink some water, mind your business, child, okay?
Peace.
Bye.
Some water and mind your business.
Oh yeah, you sang that song. You sang that song.
Yeah. Later.
Bye.